Hi, so my name's Rowena, and this is the last in a series of videos that I've been doing for the whole week, just to practice speaking live without any script, without any plans really, and uploading them and watching them back on YouTube, just getting a feel for it and finding out how it works, and also end screens and things like that. So this is the final one, and it's Sunday, the 3rd of October. And yesterday I mentioned I was just getting ready for our workshop, which was taking place in person in a town close to where I live. And it went really well. The theme was on warmth and harmony and balance, both in our lives and our paintings. And there were 3 women there who I haven't met before. So it was great to welcome new painting friends. And I'm really looking forward to meeting them again. And I'm just going to see if something works here. I'm going to share my screen. Let's have a look to see how this goes. Right, so these are just some images of the day yesterday. I'm going to scroll through them. There were 8 of us yesterday. And first of all, we painted from a meditation. Oh, there's Jess, wonderful painting companion Jess, who came along with Nadia, and she's so well behaved. Licks people's toes under the table. And looking at layers and not thinking about what we're going to paint, just seeing what arises. And everything was so different. Then adding elements of contrast, so black and white. And I love that really bold blackness there. You can't get a feel of the depth and the dimension of the painting so much when it's on a flat screen here, but you can see some toes there peeking out in that one. Lovely contrast elements there, using inks. And this one was really tactile, beautiful, lots and lots of layers, and was much more goldy, actually, and reminded me of Klimt. And this one had wow energy. These are all mostly on A2 paper, so they have boldness in their size as well. And there's lots of layering, scraping away. This was a very quick 30 seconds looking around, not looking at the paper, of our kettle. And here we have some different mark making. Just seeing what arises, really. Just an absolute feast for the eyes and the senses. And we had music as well. And that's Sarah's spirit rabbit that appeared in her painting with inks. And there was lots of sharing around topics of changes and what this means to us, perhaps, in our lives at the moment. There we go. So I'm going to stop the share. Yeah, so hopefully that will work. I'll find out when I stop recording. But today, for this very final one, I wanted to mention something that I was reminded of actually this morning when I listened to Desert Island Discs on Radio 4. And that was, the guest was the British Nigerian entrepreneur and philanthropist, Tom Ilubi. And he was talking about his life. And also he mentioned that very often he didn't recognize that his constant nature was often, well, pretty much always, one of sadness and happiness too. Both were coexisting. Oh, no, it won't close that. Both coexist with him at the same time. And there's a real gentleness around that. I'm just going to stop recording because the light is really strange. Okay, we'll carry on like this. I feel really sad to have had to block out the sun a little bit, but there were strange shadows on the screen. So anyway, I was talking about Tom Ilubi, and that he mentioned these qualities of sadness and happiness and joy were with him pretty much as a constant nature of his all the time in his life, and that he was okay with that. And he was asked, would you change that if you could? And he said, well, no, I wouldn't actually. It's who I am. It's part of me, and I've learned to live with it. And I'm really okay with it. And it reminded me very much of how I feel, my constant mood. There's an intense, oh no, not intense, a gentle sadness that's always here, and a joy as well that's always here. Sometimes they can be in a different balance, but normally they coexist quite happily together, quite happily and sadly together. And they're not about anything. It's just a constant mood. And it reminded me very much of Muji, the Advaita Vedanta teacher, who speaks of the spaciousness within all of us, the pure consciousness, which is a natural joy, but it's beyond the concept we have of joy. It's just a peace beyond the concept of peace. It's just an isness that is our natural state all of the time. And there is space for all of these other moods and feelings or characteristics. There's space for it all to come. So there's this natural joy that has space enough for the sadness to be there as well. And that speaks to me such a lot throughout my whole life, really. And I'm sure throughout my whole life to come in this lifetime, that sadness and joy coexisting. And it reminds me of musicians that I love. They have the same melancholic quality, but such a beautiful joy as well. And that noticing of the little beauty, the moments of beauty, the beauty that's always here. So Leonard Cohen, but also poets like Rilke, writers like Janet Frame. There's a sadness, but also such a startling, unique beauty in how she writes that's, oh, it just kind of blows your socks off. It's just such a celebration, a gentleness, a gentle celebration of life, and it contains all within it. So I just wanted to mention that, and check out to see if the share screen works on the recordings, which I'm sure it will. And just thank you very much if you've watched these. If you haven't, it doesn't matter, because I'm not really doing it for an audience. I'm doing it just to get used to it. And you know what? I started off in my first video last Monday saying I'm doing this to release the emotional charge I have around being seen, being visible like this in videos like this. And it's worked. Even in 7 days, I feel so much more at peace in my body, so much more natural, chatting away to myself on the screen. With less judgment, no control. I'm not panicking that I haven't got anything to say and oh my God, it should be scripted. I don't need a teleprompter. You might disagree with that, but just this naturalness, which I have when I'm in the groups, which I didn't kind of have when I was talking on video, has changed. So anyway, this has been a really good exercise for me, and perhaps it might be a good exercise for you to try if you're similar and want to have that practice. I hugely, highly recommend it. Okay, I might do some more in the future. So thanks again, and have a lovely Sunday. We're just about to do a Zoom workshop actually, in an hour or so. So yeah, have a look below and you'll see the links for the workshops if you're interested in having a go. Or if not, have a lovely day anyway, and see you again soon. Bye.